All right, time now for this week's Fast Break Conversation here on Hangtime, presented by BCAM, the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan. And I can think of nothing better than hanging with George Ward. He is the head coach at Detroit Martin Luther King. We just celebrated the Martin Luther King holiday. I know the season is a grind and you are a man of many commitments, but thank you for coming down once again to talk hoops.
Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it.
All right.
Glad to be here for sure.
All right, great. We had scheduled Coach Ward to join us a few weeks back, but it just so happens he stirred up the hornet's nest recently with some very real, very frank, very honest opinions on AAU basketball and evaluating players as a whole. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you stated instead of watching kids April through July and spent more of their time December through March, you might get a better evaluation of the kids who play team basketball.
Absolutely. It's April through July is a great time for the young men. They play against great competition. I just think from my perspective and looking at the kids overall in the state of Michigan, not just our high-profile kids, you get an opportunity to see what guys really play like with their high school teams. This is not me saying AAU needs to go away. As a matter of fact, I love it, but I think what needs to happen is we need to figure out a way, and maybe the NC2A or something like that can assist us with that. But I know the college coaches are tired, and it's their season during December through March, but some kind of way we need to get this evaluation process done in totality so they can spend some time with the young men and women during their high school seasons as well.
To quote you again, we talk about kids that can score. We don't talk about kids that make winning plays anymore. When did that change?
You know what? I don't know if it's social media. I can't say the years, but I started to see the change I guess in the last decade to 15 years or so. And you hear college coaches, as we talk all the time, and college coaches have told me, said, look, we got to get some of the AAU out of these kids' game. It's more individual based, and I get it, I understand. Whenever you're on showcase like that, you want to make sure that you're performing well for the college coaches. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, the college coach, once they get you on campus, they want to see you take a charge. They want to see if you can help the helper. They want to see if you have an understanding of what team defense is and how to play team basketball. I've had an opportunity during the high school season as well to see young men who kind of take defense as an opportunity to get a rest, so to speak. But the college coach is not going to take it. So I think when my players return home from school during their breaks or they call me, they say thank you. Yes, practice is grinding, as it is for most young men and women, but we place such an emphasis on making sure we box out, making sure we rebound, making sure we're playing together, communicating. And I know that's what the college coaches want to see. So my thing is not, let's get rid of something. My thing is, let's try to do it better from an evaluation standpoint to assist all the young men and women.
Absolutely. We talked about the June recruiting showcase reaching higher and the fact that they have a new boys team camp in June taking place at Grand Valley. Is that a good first step, even though selection is based on the players selected for the individual showcase?
It's a great opportunity for our young men, our young women. As a matter of fact, I'm a part of Reaching Higher as well through BCAM. For me, it gives the coaches another opportunity to see them with their teams, who they play with all the time. Camaraderie and chemistry is such a major part of sports, particularly basketball, when you talk about moving the ball, sharing the ball, things of that nature. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I think there's some things that need to be modified, and I hope that the governing bodies will assist in that, and I hope the MHSAA continues to do their part by changing some of the rulings and things of that nature to help us out too.
Correct. That's what we're here to do. Couldn't let you go without talking about your team. Now, we've got highlights of the Clarkston game coming up later in the show. Spoiler alert, Wolves take that one. But you beat a good Douglas team last Friday. DPS playoffs begin next week. What stands out to me about your team is the fight in the Crusaders. Even if it's an off night, they compete.
Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, you have to make sure that your young men are prepared to compete. That's the bottom line. Make sure you're ready to compete. Monday, it just looked like we were kind of, I don't know if we were just tired. Well, we couldn't have been tired physically. So I just think mentally we were drained a little bit. Clarkston came on and did a wonderful job, as they always do. I believe the Douglas game, we did a great job as far as our energy, as far as our passion, and our willingness to share the ball and play together. So I think after a big game like that, you got a couple days to relax, but you also get a couple days to look at your pictures and look at your interviews and everything on social media as well. And I think that's the one thing that's different now. So I needed to do a better job of making sure those young men understood that, hey, we still got a season to play. We still have another game to play. So Clarkston took great advantage of that, and hopefully we can see them down the road sometime in March.
A lot of parity in Detroit Public Schools these days. Pretty good teams. I mean, it's kind of wide open.
You got some wonderful teams. You got some wonderful coaches as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned the aforementioned Douglas team. You look at those guys, they're very talented.
Yep. Coach Brooks has got it.
Coach Brooks has those guys
He
playing.
says it's probably one of his best teams ever.
It's one of his better teams. I tell you what, though, the teams that he had a couple teams at King.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they can play some basketball.
Yeah.
So his
Speaking
team
in the Douglas franchise, but yes, at King, you're correct.
Yeah, he was there, and but now he's doing a wonderful job with. And I love the way he's developed the guys. But you look at Cass Tech, as always, they're doing a great job. Tyson Acuff, Kyle LeGrier, one of the best backcourts around. So you got Henry Ford, you got Ken Flowers on the west side, who is a state championship coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach, so his guys will be ready to play as well. So February through March will be fun.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. Derek McDowell has those guys at Western. A lot of people aren't talking about Western.
Yeah, I saw them earlier. They look good.
Western and CMA look pretty tough.
Yeah.
So, you look at it around the city, you look at it around the state. You got some great teams playing right now. We just hope that we're playing our best basketball come March, and we'll do our best to make sure we do.
George Ward, keeping it real. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you as well. Thanks for having our voice here at BCAM. We appreciate the city coaches being able to have an opportunity to speak about some things, and we're looking forward to keeping the relationship going.
Absolutely.
All right.